All right. So welcome to the start of March 2023 cohort. Is the introduction to business analysis. Welcome to business analysis. Now, let me just take a quick survey in the room. Quick survey in the room, quick one. If you're completely new to business analysis, like you are new to business analysis, put yes in the chat or put Y in the chat. That's easier. Put Y in the chat, Y in the chat quickly. Like you're new. It's like you are new, not Okrika, new. New to this thing. You're new. Those are the people I really want to see now. Okay, because for those of you who have heard something, seen this before, it may not look too new to you, so that's fine, but still stay on the call. Okay, thank you. I think we have quite some people, so I have the right people in the room. So let's talk business analysis, and I have 45 minutes to do that, and hopefully I can take. So for those of you who want to make, so let me just in case, give me a minute. For those of you who want to, I'm just gonna pause this. Okay, usually, for me to teach you business analysis, I like taking it from what we call first principles. Remember, I told you I've been a teacher for a long time. So, teaching is not really, it's really fun for me. All right. So for me to help you understand business analysis, I have to walk you from first principles. All right. And I'm going to start with what we call the concept of change. So please stick with me. All right. Stick with me for the next 40 minutes. Hopefully, I can help you arrive at a good understanding of business analysis. Okay, so let's go. Now, please observe the following set of slides quickly. Observe the following set of slides. You can see that in 1991, you can see that in 2014, okay? Now, for those of you who don't know who this person is, you can take it from me. Categorically, you can take this from me, is the same person, okay? Maybe you don't know this person, but I can tell you for sure, this is one and the same person, okay? Okay, just observe the set of slides. Okay, observe the set of slides. Observe the set of slides. Are you observing? I hope you're observing. All right, some people call that guy senior man. Okay, some people call him Bobrisky, and you can see some people are already recognizing him. So it means I'm right, okay? It's the same guy. I won't lie to you. Is the same guy. You can see. Now, you can see all of that. Now, in one word, what did you observe so far? In one word, you can put that in the chat. In all of those slides that I've walked you through, what did you observe in one word? Transformation, evolve, change, drastic changes, change. Use some other words. I know it's change, but you guys are just upgrade. Thank you. Upgrade, change, improvement, revolution, progress, evolution, transition, advancement, a 360 haul. You can see that, all of these things at the end of the day will fit into one word, okay? Whether you're looking at it from all of these perspectives, it fits into the word change. Can you see that? Change. So please follow me. Metamorphosis. Thank you, Chinwe. That is big grammar, but it makes sense. It means change. Good. So please follow me. So you can see what happened on those slides can actually be described with the word change. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to start with what you know. You see? And it's one of the interview techniques I teach my students. I say, whenever you are thrown a question that you don't know in the interview, always start with what you know. You can always expect a curveball any day, but always start with what you know. And that is how I love to teach. I love to teach with what you know. Now, can you please agree with me that change is inevitable? Do we agree on that? That change is inevitable. Whether you want to change or not, the world will always change. So change is inevitable, 100%. You agree with me. Now, because we are now on the same frequency and you agree with me, I can kick off from here, okay? Change is inevitable. Every day, every day, companies are driving change in the form of digital transformation, upgrading a service or a product. They're either launching one new service or one product. They're either rebranding, they're doing policy development, they're organizational changes, processing. And now that AI has come in, companies are adopting AI into their products. You see? So there will always be change. Can you see that? There will always be change. So companies will undergo change. Let me say it here, okay? That a company that will refuse to change will die in oblivion. The world will advance, the world will move and keep them behind. You see the likes of BlackBerry. The world will move and keep you behind if you refuse to change. But then, what is change? Because we've been saying change for the past 5 minutes. The question is, what is change? Please listen, because I know you've not heard business analysis. So you're like, what is this guy saying? I came here for business analysis. You're talking change. Just relax. Please, if you can trust me, for the next few minutes, I would help you navigate the waters of business analysis. Okay? Now, change occurs in one of two ways. Listen, and if you disagree with me, just put your hands up. I will give you the mic, and then you can say why you think change does not fit into these two categories. Now, I have seen from my study that change can occur in any one of these two ways. So when you hear the word change, it is one of these two things that happened. It's either you created something new, number one, or you modified something that already existed, maybe to make it better. Some people, they don't even make it better, they make it worse. I don't want to mention names. They make it worse. But you see, that is change. Change is going to occur in one of these two ways. Either you are creating something new, or you are modifying something that already exists. Can you see that? Do you agree with that? That change is any of these two? Think about change. Just think about it. It's either you are modifying something that was already there, or you are creating something that is new. For example, during COVID, when COVID happened, those businesses that were not online, they were not taking their payments online. What happened? What happened? Some of them started having websites. Website is not new, but website to that business is new. Do you understand? And for those who already had website, but were not collecting money on their website, to them, website was not new. Do you understand? Website was not new. But the payment gateway was new. They had to modify the website, and that was a change. So change can occur in one of two ways: creating something new or modifying something that already exists. Now, the question then becomes, what inspires change? What initiates a change? If a change is to happen, what do you think could be responsible for triggering a change? Let me hear you in the chat. What do you think can initiate a change? What do you think would inspire a change? Let me hear you in the chat. Trend, competition, thank you. Trend will inspire a change. Competition will inspire a change. What else? What else? What else? New development, thank you. Challenges will inspire a change. Need for improvement will inspire a change. Innovation will inspire a change. What else? What else? Environment will inspire a change. Keep going. Aspirations will inspire a change. Maybe something legal, okay? Something legal. Maybe policy changed. Situations, growth, need will all inspire a change. You guys have done well. Now, in one word, you see all those things. Somebody say empty pockets. I agree with you, sir. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Now, if you put all of those things together and use one word to explain all of the things you've said, now that word will be need. That word will be need. So a need has to be in place for a change, okay, to become necessary. A change doesn't become necessary if there is no need. That's what it simply means. So there has to be a need that initiates or inspires or triggers the change. Are you with me? Please, very important. We are getting there. Now, let's talk about the need, because we talked about the change. Now, the need can be one of these two things. Please follow me. The need can be one of these two things. A need can either be a problem you are trying to solve. You see? Like some of these things you've mentioned could be seen as a problem. But need is not always a problem, sir. A need is not always a problem. Sometimes for some companies, a need is an opportunity that they need to cultivate. It's an opportunity that they need to, jump on. For example, we saw that some people were interested in our program in the UK. So it was an opportunity because the data was telling us that. So we decided, let's go to the UK. Now, that was not a problem. It was an opportunity. And as a result, we had to, introduce a few changes. So need will inspire a change. Remember that a change is something new or modifying something that already exists. And then the need is a problem you want to solve or an opportunity you want to cultivate. Let's pause and let me ask you a very rhetorical question. Are all changes successful? Let's start with that. You know the answer. It's a rhetoric. Are all changes successful? Question. Huh? Not necessarily. No, not all changes are successful. It's an obvious one. Not all changes are successful. So when do we say that a change is successful? When do we say that a change is successful? Now, we say that a change is successful when it delivers value. When a change delivers value or its intended benefits, then a change is successful. Yeah, impact could be the value. So when a change has delivered its value, delivered intended benefits, then it is successful. Can you see that? Now, let's examine this for a minute. I'll give you this to look at it for a minute. Now, would you say that what you're seeing here, was this a successful change? And why? Why do you think it was not a successful change? Look at this for a quick 1 minute. 1 minute. Now look at each of the frames. Look at how the customer explained it. Look at how the project leader understood it. Look at how the engineer designed it. Look at how the programmer wrote it. Look at how the sales executive, I started my career as a sales executive. How the project was documented. Look at how the operations installed it. Look at how the customer was billed. This is crazy. Look at how the help desk supported it. Look at what the customer really needed. Now, just looking at this, would you say this was successful? No, it wasn't. Oh, no, 1,000 times no. It wasn't successful at all. It wasn't even close to being a success. All right. So this is not a successful change. Now, but there is one weird thing, yeah, that I see here. One weird thing. Okay. And Tosin already helped me out. Can you see what Tosin put in the chat? Tosin Adeleke put something in the chat. When I look at this picture, anytime I look at it, it's the weirdest thing ever. Can you see that even the customer could not explain what he needed? Look at what the customer really needed. Look at how the customer explained it. Even the customer did not know how to say what he wanted. So that is to tell you that, everybody heard something different. Look at, even the customer could not explain it properly. The project leader understood it differently. Engineer understood it differently. Programmer understood it differently. The sales executive, he's always his eyes about money. So he understood it from a money perspective. The project, look at, nothing was documented. Operations, look at how they installed it. So everybody on the project understood it differently. So there is a missing link here. There is a missing link. There needs to be somebody that can hold the reins. Somebody that can ensure that everybody is hearing the same thing. Do you understand? There has to be somebody on this project that even is helping the customer to be able to project his need properly. Because even the customer cannot project his need or explain his need properly. So somebody is missing on this diagram, on this picture here. Somebody is missing. If that person were here, it would have helped with need assessment. If that person was here, he would have helped to ensure that whatever he was hearing, he was translating it adequately, and every other person on the team is hearing the same language, is hearing the same thing. Not the project manager understanding one thing and running with it. Not the programmer understanding one thing and running with it. Not the customer, the operations understanding one thing and running with it. It will ensure that everybody on the team is on the same page. So you can already begin to see why this project was a failure. Now, one of the things you realize quickly from that picture is that a change, especially in the business context, always involves different parties. No, let's look at it again. Look at it again. When a change is about to occur, usually it involves different parties. You see the project, as you remember I said in a business context. You can see, look at the project leader, look at the engineer, look at the programmer, look at the sales guy. You can see that different parties are involved, especially when it comes to a change. Different parties are involved. And these parties, they will need to align. These parties that are involved in a change on that business, in that organization, they will need to align. They will need to come to an agreement. They will need to understand the same thing about the change, about the solution, about the approach, about any other ingredient that molds the change. They need to be on the same page. They all need to be aligned. Does that make sense? Is that making sense? Okay, let me keep going. Now, usually, when you're in a company, let me say this. When you're in a company, they will not say, Nola, I want to put you on a change. No, they don't say that. They will not say, Hafsa, I want to put you on a change. Patrick, I have this change I want you to be part of. No, they say, I want to put you on a project. They say, I want to put you on a project. So in a company, the vehicle for a change is called a project. So whenever you hear project, just think about change. So that your friend that is a BA that told you that they put him on 2 projects, what he's simply telling you is that they put him on 2 different, opportunities for him to carry out a change. And remember that change could be creating something new or what? Modifying something that already exists. So these parties will come together on what is called a project, which is actually a sequence of tasks that must be completed to attain a certain outcome. And all in the bid to pursue this change. Are you following me? Now, so these parties will come together, what is called a project, to pursue the change. We have established that. Now, let me ask another question. Who will help these different parties align on the components of the change? Because everybody now, you say too many hands spoil the broth. It's not supposed to be the case in a company, in an organization, because we work cross-functionally. We work with different SMEs. We work with different people on a project, on a change. Now, who is going to help us align? Who is going to help these different parties align on all the components of the change? Who is going to help them understand the opportunity, the process, the need, the solution? What is changing now? What is changing later? The steps involved, what we should do now, the pain point of the customer, the features that need to be done, the difficulties involved, the problem, the product, what should remain, what we should do later. Who is going to be the person ensuring that all these parties are aligned on the different components of the change? Your guess is as good as mine. You can begin to type it in the chat if your guess is as good as mine. It's the business analyst. Business analyst. Business analyst. Now, I understand your wisdom, Mr. Wisdom, for putting project manager in the chat, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why you're not wrong. Just stick with me, and I'll tell you why you're not wrong. Because for someone to be a business analyst, you don't need the name business analyst. You can actually be called a project manager, and you're doing the things I just told you. And if you're doing that, you are actually a business analyst. Stick with me. Stick with me. Now, let's understand business analysis. Since you've understood the concept of change, let me take you to what people like. People like textbook. People like the textbook. I'll tell you about Scrum Master next week. And by the end of this class, if you stick around, I'll also answer that question about the Scrum Master, okay? Bumi. I usually don't like to deviate the class, especially when we are focusing on one subject. It's very tricky. It's very tricky, especially when you have newbies on the call, okay? So just stick to the end and I will answer that question. So let's understand business analysis. Now, I'm going to take it from the textbook. There is a textbook called the IIBA Babok Guide. It's the version 3.0. IIBA stands for International Institute of Business Analysts. And then Babok stands for Business Analysis Book of Knowledge, okay, just in case you're wondering, okay, just like the PM book, okay, for project managers. This is the Babok, Business Analysis Book of Knowledge, okay, and this guide has gone through several iterations. Now, this is the third iteration, the third edition, and I'm taking this definition from there. So I don't have this, this is not my definition, it's the definition of the textbook, but just hold on, I'm going to explain it to you. Now, let's read it together. Business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Let me read it again, because some people are feeling a bit confused now. Don't worry, stick around. Business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Now, that can look like a mouthful. It can even look confusing, but still hold on. Now, I have highlighted a few keywords, which you already know. Some of these things you already know, like you know what change is, all right? You know what a need is, right? So don't worry. I will help you understand this very soon in the next 10 minutes. If you stick around, by the time you're done with this class, business analysis should not be something you are trying to remember. It should be something you know, okay? So hold on. Now, let's talk about change. Remember I told you that change is actually creating something new or modifying something that already exists. For example, I have a friend who is an SAP guru, okay? He helps companies to implement some of their, processes, okay? Now, some of those processes already exist and they want to improve it. So he can help them improve it. Whereas there are some processes that he helps them with that never existed. So that is a change. So if he's helping them to create something new, like a process, or he's modifying something that already exists, is actually enabling a change. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? In the simplest form, that is a change. Now let's move on. So if I replace the change with the new thing that we know in this definition, it will read something like this. Business analysis is the practice of enabling something new or modifying something that already exists in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Now we are getting there. Stick with me. Just stick with me. Now let's move on to the next thing. Enterprise. Enterprise. The next thing there is enterprise. What is enterprise? What makes up an enterprise? An enterprise is an organization. Now, in an organization, what actually makes up an organization? It is the product. It is the people. It is the process. It is the policies. It is the technology stack. It is all other subset of that organization, like that departments and every other thing that makes up. Take all those things away, you don't have an organization. Do you understand? Take that away, it's not an organization. So I can simply replace in this definition that business analysis is the practice of enabling something new or modifying something that already exists in an enterprise, which will mean, for example, products, processes. So meaning that you can create a new product. You can help to create a new process. You can help to create a new policy. All that is the enterprise, sir. Or you can help to modify the product or modify the process or modify the policy, or modify the technology stack, or modify the, are you getting the point now? That is up until this point. Let's keep going. I'm breaking this down. Now, the next thing is need. Remember, I told you that need is either a problem to be solved or an opportunity to be cultivated. Let's impute that into this formula. And then we will have that business analysis is the practice of enabling like a new product or modifying a product or a new process or modifying a process by defining first. First, you have to define the problem. First, you have to define the pain point. You have to define the opportunity. There is no change without defining the problem. There is no change without defining the opportunity. So the first place that a BA starts from is starting with the change. Starting with the pain point, starting with the opportunity, starting with the problem. That is where you want to start from. So when that reads, it reads like business analysis is the practice of enabling a new product or modifying a product or modifying a process or modifying the technology by first defining the problem that you're trying to solve, defining the opportunity, defining the pain point, and let's move on. Let's go on. What is solution? What is solutions? Solution is an approach. Solution, I will teach you maybe by the next class, maybe by next week, SDLC, and I'll teach you design. Design is the representation of a solution, okay? Requirement is the representation of a need, right? I will teach you what design is a solution. Technology stack is a solution. The features on a product is a solution. The steps in a process is a solution. So if you take the solution that is blocking you from understanding this away and put in any of these things, it will now read something like this. That business analysis is the practice of enabling something new. What is that something? Process. What is that something? Product. What is that something? Technology. What is that something? Policy. What is that something, right? Or modifying it, okay, by first defining the problem, the opportunities, the pain points, and then recommending an approach, and then recommending a feature, and then recommending the steps in a process, and then recommending the design. It's getting clearer, right? That deliver value to stakeholders. Let's keep going. What is value? Simply put, easy peasy. Value is benefits. Value is benefits. It's ROI. My return on investment, ROI. That's value, right? Now, let's put that in. Plug it in. It means that the business analyst is actually ensuring that the project is successful. Because here, value means benefit. It's nothing negative. So the expectation is that it doesn't crash like the project we saw in that diagram or in that picture. So you read something like business analysis is the practice of enabling a new product or modifying a new process or modifying a process by defining the problems, opportunities, pain points, and recommending features, steps, process, design, approach that deliver benefits. Okay, maybe you still haven't understood it. Let's keep going. What are stakeholders? Stakeholders is everybody and anybody that is affected or that affects the project. Listen, this is not a political stakeholder. I know some of you, you're too used to political stakeholders. You think when you talk political stakeholders, these are the guys that probably sponsor stuff and things like that. No, not in technology. In tech, stakeholder is anybody affected or that affects it. And I'll teach you about that in the next class. It's called stakeholder management. I'll teach you about that. So it's everybody and anybody that's affected. And that would include what? The consumer. It will include end user. It will include even the government. Because if the government's policies is affecting the things you're doing, they become a stakeholder. So you need to ensure that you are bringing value to everyone involved. So put that now. You have that business analysis is the practice of enabling change, something new, or modifying something that already exists. In an enterprise, call it product, processes, technology, policy, anything, okay? By defining problems, opportunities, pain points, and recommending maybe features, steps in a process, design approach, okay? That deliver benefits to everybody and anybody that is affected or that affects the project. Now, let's move away from Babok, which sounds a little bit weird to you. And let's move to TSG. And let me give you TSG definition of business analysis. If you heard this from anywhere else, they got it from here. Take note. Business analysis is the practice of enabling something new or modifying something that already exists in a product, in a process, in technology, etc., by defining the problems, opportunities, pain points, etc., and recommending features, steps in a process, design, approach, and if you're an ITBA, technology that delivers benefits to everybody and anybody that is affected or that affects the project. So what that means is that in that picture I showed you, the project manager would have received benefit because he will not be confused. The engineer would have received benefit because he will not be confused. He will receive the right requirements for him to put together because the business analyst would have translated the business needs into the right requirements for him to implement. Okay, it means that the guy who is the client will not have to say rubbish, will not have to, not know what to say about his needs, because the business analyst would help him to be able to speak his needs properly. Does that make sense? That, my friend, is business analysis simplified. If you understand what business analysis is, can you put yes in the chat? Like you didn't know what it was before you came here. Now you know what it is. It's as simple as waking up, seeing the daylight, and understanding when it's night. Put yes in the chat. Now, let me take you a bit further. You're not done. I know some of you can leave this class now and you're good, but I'm not done. I'm not done. Just hold on, I'm not done. In conclusion, business analysis has one or more of these elements. If you were listening properly, you would have heard me say any of these things. Now, number one, you do what is called needs assessment. So you would look at, okay, so what are they doing now? What are they looking to achieve in the future? You analyze their current problems or opportunities to understand what is necessary to attain the desired future state. So you do some needs assessment. Does that make sense? You do some needs assessment because you're trying to understand the problem. Number two, you do stakeholder engagement. How can you help a stakeholder without doing an engagement? How can I help someone without actually engaging that person? Whether it is by Zoom or by email, I will engage you. I will engage you either to manage your expectations or to get something from you or to understand what you need. So a business analyst, you can expect to engage the stakeholder. You identify and analyze those who have an interest in the outcome of the solution, and you determine how to collaborate and communicate with them. Thirdly, you will be doing what is called requirement elicitation and confirmation. This is simply requirement gathering, okay? You'll be listening to them and gathering requirements. You're planning and preparing requirement elicitation for stakeholders. You're conducting elicitation. You are confirming it so that, tomorrow they will not tell you they did not say it. Oh, no, I did not tell you that. No, you told me. You told me on March 3rd that we should implement a drop down. It's here. I documented it. We had a meeting on it. You see, so you would confirm to make sure that the requirement that you are gathering was approved, so you don't run into troubles. Remember, you are the arbiter of truth for that project. Fourthly, you'll be doing what is called requirement analysis and documentation. Requirement analysis and documentation. So you'll be examining, and breaking down much bigger concepts or more bigger requirements. You are breaking them down because as you are constantly having conversations, how many of you have noticed that each time you're having more conversations or doing what is called amebo, for those of you who don't understand, amebo is, getting yourself involved in something you're not supposed to be involved in and trying to get information and digging for information, it could be really seen from an inappropriate perspective, okay? So when we say you're amebo, the business analyst is the amebo of the group, is the amebo of the project, putting his nose into everything and trying to understand everything, okay? He's trying to get information so that the more he's communicating and having those conversations, things are becoming clearer, things are becoming better, things are becoming, much more explained. I remember I joined a particular project where it's a very big company. They are one of the biggest manufacturers of lenses. So for those of you who wear lens, I don't know anything about wearing lens. None of my family members wear lens. But because I was having constant communication with these stakeholders, guess what? Before the project ended, I became a master in lens. I was almost going to do an eye checkup for people. I knew the subject by reason of communication. Do you understand? So that is what business analysis is about. It's you continue to further understand something. You continue to complete it. You continue to improve it. The requirements are documented for reference purposes. Very important. Now, there's also what we call traceability and monitoring. Could be one of the things you could be involved in. Now, how did things evolve? How did things change over time? You've been involved in that process. And then monitoring and tracking things. Because tomorrow, I can give you an example. There's a particular project we are working on. Because of our time, I can't show you. I would have loved to show you. There's a particular project we're working on last year. Because of the way things were, we said, okay, we're going to do this. But as at yesterday, I told the designer, can we tweak it? And can we communicate this to the business analyst so that they can document it? Now, things will change. Maybe because things has changed, right? Okay? Because now we have moved into the UK. So that particular design is no longer holding water. Things will change. And that is where Agile comes into play. And I will teach you about that next week. Solution evaluation. Okay, now you've implemented everything. You've done what we said you should do. Okay, let's check it to be sure that it meets the things we said you should do. So you are validating a full solution or a segment of that solution that is about to be or has already been implemented to determine how well a solution meets the business needs. Remember, you started from the needs. So if what you are implementing does not meet the need, then foul. You just failed. So there may be need for solution evaluation. Am I saying that you do everything? No. I'm just saying that at least in your work as a BA, you would engage in at least one of these things I've just mentioned, starting from number one, needs assessment, to stakeholder engagement, to requirement elicitation and confirmation, then to requirement analysis and documentation, to traceability and monitoring, to solution evaluation. You would have done one of these things as a BA. Now, let's move on. I know some of you are like, can you just stop? I already know what business analysis is, but you've not heard it all. I want to shock you. This is the shocker now. Just relax. Give me the next 8 minutes, okay? And probably I'll be out of your way for good. Who is a business analyst? Now, the only reason I do this, because at this point, I know you already know who a business analyst is, but there's something I want to show you here, which again, because wisdom, at some point when I was asking, he said, he's a project manager. Yeah, and I agree with him. But let me show you why. According to the Babok Guide, and I told you what the Babok Guide is. It's like the Bible for business analysts. Okay, although it's kind of the ideal Bible. You know, some things there you won't eventually go to practice. So it says, a business analyst is any person who performs business analysis tasks, no matter their job title or organizational role. Please keep this at the back of your mind, because when you come to me for interview, I will remind you. And this is what Chinelo was telling you about, that she used her experience. The only problem is that you are the only one looking at it as somebody working in the bank. You are the only one looking at it as somebody who is a teacher. You are the only one looking at it as a Yoruba teacher. You are the only one looking at it as an engineer. You are not looking at it as a BA. If only you would look at those things you did as a BA. And this is where a mentor comes in. And that is what Chinelo was telling you. She said, I used my experience. I spoke everything I did. But what? She spoke it from a BA perspective. Let me even shock you further. Now, hold on. If you have ever added value to an organization or process in the following ways, hold on, I'm about to throw a bomb at you. Now, listen, these are 9 things I'm going to call out now. I want you to take a pen and tick which ones you've done. And if you've not done anything here before, that's fine. We've got projects for you. You will have an experience before you finish. So look at this. Number 1, have you driven change? Think about it. In the past, where you worked, have you driven change? Have you improved the business process? Have you helped to launch a new product or service? Have you improved the current state of a product or service? Have you helped the business to maximize profit and save costs? Have you made the process more efficient? Have you helped the business gain competitive advantage? Have you recommended solutions to prevailing business problems? Have you helped the business maximize opportunities by entering a new market? Have you done any of this? These are 9. Now, let me put a number to this. Let me see how many of you have 1 over 9, 2 over 9, 3 over 9, 4 over 9, 9 over 9, even 10 over 9. I've seen people have 10 over 9. Now, let's engage the chat. Let me see your number, your score. If you've done any of this before, put in the chat. Let me see how many you've done. Quick, especially those of you who say you are new to business analysis. Let me see what you get. 5, 7, 6, 9. Is there anybody with 0? I want to see the one with 0. 5, 9, 7, 3, 3, 7, 0. Good, Afsa, that's fine. 0. You are the people that I want, because you need to be active on the project so that you can have at least one of these experiences. Okay, let's keep going. 8, 7, 1. Now, if you've had any of this at all, you are a business analyst. And I'm not afraid to point my fingers at you and accuse you that you're a business analyst. It's as simple as that. You're the only one who does not know. Oh my God. You're the only one who does not know. But why can't I land a job then? You tell me. You tell me. And they can't land a job. Some of them don't even know. They just realize now. So how do you expect them to land a job? They just realized just now. And you expect them to land a job. Okay, so you are a business analyst. So let's quickly wrap this up. I'll tell you quickly, just summarizing the things that you've heard, the roles and the responsibilities of a BA. Okay? So with all that I've said, you begin to see that a BA will justify the need in some cases, like what we call business case. Okay, like some of our students will do business cases on some of the projects. Okay, all right. They will justify the need for that thing, right? Why should we do it? Should we invest in it or not? It's called a business case, and we will teach you that. Okay, you will define the need, like the current state and the future state is one of the things you do. Okay, you manage the stakeholders, you facilitate meetings, you will gather requirements, you understand user pain points, you will question and challenge requirements sometimes, because sometimes they will tell you some things and you say, no. You see, you challenge it. You confirm requirements, you analyze requirements, you document requirements, you communicate requirements, you will help a team and stakeholders understand the requirements, you monitor or track changes in requirements. You can see that requirements is a lot, it's a big deal, right? Yeah, usually we teach requirements for 3 weeks in the cohort. 3 weeks, 3 solid weeks, requirements, only requirements for 3 solid weeks to tell you that that is the core. Test solution to ensure it meets requirements. Yeah, sometimes if you are working in like a startup, you may likely do it. And you need to eventually enable a successful change. Business analysis will be performed if you are creating or enhancing a product, you're creating or enhancing a process, you're solving a problem, you're exploring an opportunity, you're collaborating with vendors to learn the best practice or configuration. You know, you would always, so business analysis will be needed, will always be needed. Forget AI, it will be needed, all right? It will be needed. And now, when I show you this again, you can now tell me why this project failed. Yeah, you can tell me why the project failed. Yeah, in case you can't tell me, I'll tell you. The BA is lacking. The BA is lacking. There's no BA role or BA job function. So the next question on people's mind, do I need to be techie to be a BA? The answer is no. That's the short answer. However, like I told you, we have a module called Module 5 called Tech and Design for BA to enable you be able to communicate properly in the workplace when these terms are thrown at you, okay? You don't need to know all of these. Now, the reason is because there is what we call, let me give you the truth. There's what we call technical business analyst, okay? Technical business analyst. And there's what we call ITBA. There's what we call domain BA. Now, if you go on the job search, please listen to this part very carefully. Listen, please, carefully. When you go on your job search, you can find 12,000 jobs. Now, what I normally tell my students is don't start jumping up that you can apply after my course or after this training, you can apply for 12,000 jobs. No, that's not the truth. Because I do not teach you technical business analysis. I do not, please listen. I do not teach you technical, I teach you generalist BA. So you are going to take those jobs, that 12,000 job that you saw, divide it by 2. You will be able to apply for 6,000. because I'm teaching you generalist BA. If you want to now become a bit, that's why I said in tech, the more the merrier. So if you now understand maybe Python and some other things, you can now begin to, you know, be able to apply for some more jobs. But the 6,000 jobs is enough. But as if that is not enough, we teach you product owner. So if you look at product ownership, okay, and you have 12,000 jobs, divide that by 2. Now, when you add the 2, you didn't miss anything. Hey, does that make sense? You didn't miss anything. So meaning that when you finish this course, you can apply for product ownership and product and business analysis without having to be techie. Yes, yes, absolutely. And that is why we teach you, give you an added advantage. And you see our students getting jobs. It's because they have that added advantage. They can always go for the next job. In fact, some of them even brave it and go for Scrum Master jobs. Yeah, so everything is taught in one simple course, in one simple training. Okay? But no, while it is true that the BA does not need to be technical, we are almost done. Please just give me a bit, 5 minutes, okay? And we'll be done. I know we're supposed to be done by 10. But just give me a few minutes. I know those testifiers over-testified. So maybe, Shegun, we may take your testimony maybe, well, if some people are on the call, we can give your testimony, but we can take your testimony maybe on Thursday or so. While it is true that BA does not need to be technical, the BA needs to understand certain concepts. That is what we're going to teach you. He needs to know how to use certain tools. That is what we'll teach you. He needs to know how to employ certain techniques. That's what we'll give you. Deploy certain skills. That is what you would learn here. And deliver certain artifacts to get the job done. Concepts, tools, techniques, skills, artifacts. Put all that together and you will get the business analyst. That brings us to the end of our class. Now, this is something I give all the time to everybody. Now, I'm not going to mark anything. It's just, you know, I love to tell people, listen, if you want to become something, it's good to start looking at that thing. So I always tell my students from day one, go and study 40 business analyst job description. 40. You don't have to do everything today. You can take your time. Nobody's going to mark this for you, okay? It's so that every week, as we are doing this every week, you can begin to see how you are now understanding go and look at the job description and try to see whether you understand it. Then, as we are going from week 1 to week 2 to week 3, revisit them and see how much your understanding is growing. I can assure you that in week 6, you will see yourself in the job description. That's my words. In week 6, week 7, you already see yourself in the job description. This is what one student did. He did the whole thing. He labeled it. Ola is a great guy. Now, just go and study 40 job descriptions, the similarities and the differences. Okay. How many of these job descriptions require certifications? Because you people will not let me rest with certifications. Go and check. How many require certification? Was the certification a nice to have or a must have? Was it domain specific? Like for example, SAP will ask you for SAP certification because it's a technical thing. It's like Salesforce. You can't know Salesforce without doing or being inside Salesforce. It's not possible. So you can learn BA without, you know. All right. Somebody's asking me, what is my real name? My real name is Michael Akpan. You can check it on LinkedIn. That's my real name. I haven't gone by any fake name, but I haven't gone by any fake name. My name is Michael Akpan. That's my name. So what type of certification was required? Okay. What type of certification was required? Okay. Please check that because it will help you a lot on this journey. Study 20 product owner or analyst job description. Note the similarity because we are teaching you both. I want you to look at the product owner roles, look at the business analyst roles. How many of these jobs require certifications now and how many does not? Okay, it will help you a lot. Okay, now that brings us to the end of this class. I've shown you the value of the class already. Listen, can't cheat you out of these things. We also came through the struggle. For those of you who were on the live, I told you my story. Maybe one of these days I'll tell you again. Okay, we've also been through the hustle. For those of you who are looking for the perfect timing to jump on a course like this, there will never be a perfect time because nothing aligns. The natural progression of life is to deter you, to stop you, to make you fail. I repeat it again. The natural progression of life is to ensure that you fail. So if you decide that whatever will be, Do you know what will be? The natural progression of life, which is failure. You can't sit in your house and say whatever will be will be. Whatever is mine will come to me. Keep thinking. Keep wishing good. Whatever is yours, don't put your hand to the plow. You that went to school, were you stupid? Did your certificate come to your house? Did they come to your house and give you the certificate and say whatever will be will be? Didn't you register? Didn't you go to that school? Didn't you participate in the classes, write the exams, and probably got out with a 2-2, unfortunately? But that didn't stop you anyways. So the greatest lie you tell to yourself is whatever will be will be. Whatever will be will not be. You have to make it be. The natural progression of life is to stop you, is to make you work at Walmart, is to make you, like Chinelo says, is make you clean bum. Maybe we'll take this part out. Yeah, that's the natural progression. Okay? That's the natural progression of life. But yes, it's truth. You all have to pay the bills. I understand it. But does life have to always be like that? Do we have to struggle on 3 jobs, on 4 jobs, on 5 jobs before we realize that we can actually make a living on one? There's one guy on the call right here, just blowing my mind with $85 per hour. In fact, I've told him already, you have to come and pay these fees twice. I'm telling him he has to pay the fees twice, honestly. $85 per hour from $27 per hour. That's crazy. That's crazy. So this is an investment in yourself. You can decide to do it or not. It's totally up to you. Listen, I pay for courses. If I currently, as I speak to you, there are courses I paid for I have not even gone into. And that is why I'm bringing the alumni to even help so that I can have some time to even go to my own training. Because I have trainings to go to too. Everybody is naturally improving. We improve every day. It's life. The day you stop improving, you die. Remember, one of the places we start from is change is inevitable. So if you cross your hands and say, oh, it's okay, I'm complacent, I think I am where I need to be. Okay? Watch how life deals with you. So you have to evolve with life. You have to evolve with time. It's only 1,890. I always tell people, and I beat my chest to it, I'm trying to be fair here. If anybody gives you what we are giving you on this platform, I can beat my chest to it. 100 times I say it. If anybody gives you what we are giving you on this platform, the dedication and everything, for this price, come and meet me. Tell me, Michael, this is it. And I will price match. But first, you have to show me that they will give you all the things we are giving you. Product ownership, the 6 sessions, the one-on-one, listen to your story. They will listen to you. Come on. So please, again, it looks as if I'm trying to sell something to you, but honestly, the heart here, because again, I wish we could go even lower than this. But the truth is, for us to make it worthwhile, we have to pay people. So we can't even do it for free. We have to pay people now. We'll pay developers that will come on the call. They're not, those ones are not coming to do free work. And they would all be part of, we'll pay instructors. Yeah, the coaches you meet and all of those. I'm not the only person teaching this thing. So of course, we'll pay them. So of course you can't get it for free. It's an investment in yourself. And I said you can do a 3-time payment for $630 every 30 days. It's an investment in yourself. Okay, or you can do a 1-time payment. Use the code first class. Just go on here. Okay, click on make payment. Come in here. I'm going to take the link there and paste it in the chat. And you come in here and say first class. Apply. And then you can make a payment. That's if you're doing a 1-time. And I know, okay, you don't want to do a 1-time payment, you want to do a 3-time payment, that's also fine. Okay, you go there, 3-time payment. Okay, that's how to go about it. So my job is done for today. We're going to still give you another opportunity on Thursday. Again, the idea here is to help you, especially for those of you who know nothing about business analysis. We just want to show you that this is something that you can leverage from no experience, because you already have the experience. It's just that you're the only one who does not see it. You're the only one who doesn't see it. Okay? No, you can't have access to the course material until, so only those who probably have paid, definitely you have access to the course materials. I can show you. You'll be on Basecamp. Okay, so for those who have paid or those who have enrolled, you would have access. So you come in here, for example, you can see that this, you'll see everything here from the useful video links to the group project information, to the documentation, to all of that. You get everything. Then you'll get the training materials, everything from module 1 to module 2. You see the module decks, okay, from module 1 to module 2 to module 3 to module 4 to module 5 to wireframing. All the decks, you're going to get all of that. The exercises, you're going to get everything, plus the MP4 and the stuff, you're going to get everything. Everything will be given, and then you can also watch the video and the recording. So basically that's it. So yes, you will get those things for sure. Okay. So for those of you who have registered, don't worry, we will migrate you. So this week is for everybody, right? So just relax. Okay, by next week, when we know those that are for us, I will walk you through Basecamp. I will walk you through all these things. So that's not a problem. Okay. Okay. In the meantime, you all have access to your SAM card, so that's fine. This recording would actually be uploaded. Will be uploaded maybe later tonight if I have the time, or tomorrow. Okay. So that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Debbie, how are you doing? I see you. I see you. You're welcome to this cohort. And that's one thing I didn't tell you guys. If life happened during the cohort, one of the good things that we do here is that we don't charge you again. Just let us know. Just let us know you're coming in. Okay. Maybe you probably, for some reason, maybe you fell ill. You could not continue. Just let us know. Let us know. As long as you make the payment, we can transfer you to a new cohort free of charge. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Everything here is transparent. I won't come here and tell you a lie. All right. So if you think this is where you want to be, if you think you would get value from here, over to you. Okay. You're doing great. Thank you. Okay, that's nice. Thanks, Debbie. Okay, so that is that I have. And for those of you who are not on the lounge, if you're not on the lounge, okay, that's the Telegram group. Okay, if you're not on the lounge, which is our Telegram group, please join the lounge. Okay, we share some information on the lounge. So I'm going to post that here now. Okay, I'm going to post that here now. Oh, those of you saying you want to reach me, you want to reach this, just go on the website. You have everything there to reach somebody. So you have the WhatsApp, you have the Instagram. Don't do Instagram because our response is delayed. Okay, you have the WhatsApp, you have the number here. Okay, you can come to contact. You can send us an email at theskillgarage@theskillgarage.com. Give us a call and all of that stuff. All right. Okay, so I look forward to mentoring you. I look forward to helping you achieve your dreams for 2023. And God bless you. Okay, all the best. Somebody has a question. They said about the tools, programs we will need on our PC. No. Everything is in the cloud. All the tools you need is in the cloud. You don't need to pay for nothing. All the tools you need is in the cloud. You don't need to download nothing. Okay. Okay, you don't need to download nothing. The tools, hola. Okay, don't worry. You don't need to download nothing. All the tools you need is in the cloud. Okay. All right. Good night, guys. And I will see you. I'll send you a reminder. Okay. Oh, somebody said, oh, look at that. Look at that. Ade Dolakpo. Can you see that? Ade Dolakpo is here, confirming my story that I'm not lying. He said, I'm inspired by my wife. She's the 3 years stay-at-home mom that I talked about. Can you see that? So there are no lies here. Everything is, Shagun, I'm so sorry for bringing you on this call. I know you are not angry at me. You can never be angry at me. Sorry, we'll tell your story. We'll tell your story on Thursday, for sure. We'll tell your story on Thursday. For sure, we will tell your story on Thursday, for sure. Okay? Thank you, Shagun. Thank you. I love you. I love you too. I love you so much. All right. Thanks, Shagun. Thanks so much. All right, guys, I will see you on Thursday. All right. And I will send reminders before then. Take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye for now.